recorded. Y'all understand it?
Hey, Israel, where you at? I say, Israel, where you at? We on the ground trying to take across the map, waiting for the Lord. We know that he coming back. We just gotta hold on. We just gotta hold on. We just gotta hold on.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Brother Avery, Royal Regime of Christ Church. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Today we have a lesson entitled this Signs of the Heavens. Signs in the Heavens. Okay, May 16th. Okay, actually, well, Sunday night is when you'll be able to see it, but they have what the world is calling a blood moon.
The super flower blood moon on Sunday night as the full moon turns a dark red in our sky. Total lunar eclipses aren't extremely rare, but the last one was more than 3 years ago.
Sunday night, Rhode Island and really all of America is going to...
Okay, this coming May 16th. A blood moon, they actually call it a flower blood moon or a lunar eclipse blood moon. Now, to the average person, the average mind, this seems to be just more of a, spectacle, something to go out and look at night. And, it's kind of like looking at attraction or going to the zoo, take pictures and things of that nature. But according to the word of God, this means something. It's deeper than that. Okay, when the Lord put signs in the heaven, moons, the stars, the sun, it signifies something. It's for a sign. He's trying to speak and let us know something. Okay, and if you notice the past several years, this is happening more and more frequently. Okay, and the one that's happening on this couple days from now, actually tomorrow night, May 16th, from the time we record. Okay, they calling it a flower blood moon. And we're going to see in this lesson why would they call it a flower, what a flower represents. Okay, because in the Bible, flower, blooms for a season and then it withers away. Also, grass and flowers get cut down. Okay, so this is signifying a time and a season. Okay, but we're going to get into it right in the lesson. First place we're going to need our Bibles, by the way, King James Version Bibles, and you're going to need your Apocrypha. We're going to our Apocrypha first. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12. And we're going to read verse 1.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 1. For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. Okay, so it says the Lord's incorruptible spirit is in all things. Anything in nature, anything is a teaching moment. Some way, somehow, you can always see the glory of the Lord in it. Even if it's from the wind blowing to the sun shining, whatever it may be, all things, his incorruptible spirit is in it. Come on. Therefore, chastenest thou them by little in little. Actually, that's all I wanted. Verse 1. For thy incorruptible spirit is in all things. So keep that in mind. The Lord's spirit is in all things. Let's get going to our Bible. Psalms chapter 107. Psalms 107 chapter. We read verse 43. The book of Psalms, chapter 107, verse 33. 43. Whoso is wise and will observe these things.
Okay, it says, whoso is wise, the person that's wise will observe these things. We just read that the incorruptible spirit of the Lord is in all things. So over here we read the person that's wise will observe all things. Come on.
Even they shall understand the loving kindness of the Lord.
Okay, so the wise person, nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is just a show or spectacle. The wise person understands that the incorruptible spirit of the Lord is in all things. So it's something and everything that the Lord is trying to say. Let's get Genesis chapter 1. Book of Genesis chapter 1, you're going to read verse 14.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Okay, so the Lord said that let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven. Okay, and these lights are for days, months. What did it say? Days, months, and seasons?
Y'all read it again.
And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night.
To divide the day from the night. We know the moon, according to the Bible, is the lesser light, and the sun was the greater light. Come on.
And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Okay, for signs, for seasons, days, and years. But the main point I want is for signs. For signs and for seasons. So all the lights that's within the firmament of heaven, from the moon, the sun, and the stars, this is what it signifies. It's either for a sign, for season, days, and years. Okay, so let's get Sirach back in our Apocrypha, Sirach, the 43rd chapter, and on verse 6. Let's keep in mind, we just read what the lights in the heavens are for, signs and seasons mainly.
This is the book Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 43, verse 6.
Come on.
He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
See, there we go again. He made the moon to serve in her season for a declaration. A declaration is declaring something. It's a sign for something. And it just said for a declaration to declare for seasons. Okay, so not decoration. It's not just there to be watched or for a spectacle. It declares something. Read it one more time.
He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
Okay, so once again, we're seeing that this moon is trying to declare something. He made it for a sign and for seasons. Let's get Matthew chapter 16. Matthew chapter 16, we're going to read verses 1 through 3.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven.
Now you see that? A sign from heaven. We'll see what the sign is. Come on.
He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red.
Now you see that? He's talking about the signs of the time, for instance, or the weather. You walk out your house in the morning, you're able to look at the sky. If it's cloudy, you're able to say, okay, well, look, it looks like we might get some rain today. You wake up in the morning or in the afternoon, perhaps you go out, the sun is shining real bright. You know, hey, we in for a long day. Okay, everything is dry, no sun, no nothing. Okay, the day's real humid. You can pretty much project the weather for the remainder of that day based on what the signs of the sky is doing. Like I said, if it's sunny, we got rain clouds, you know it's rain. Let me dress, let me get my umbrella, let me get my hat, my raincoat. Look like we're about to get some rain. Come on.
And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
See that? You could just, like we can discern, the average person can discern the sky, but it's saying you're a hypocrite. Just like you can discern the sky, what the weather gonna be, but yet you cannot discern the signs of the time. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. Title of the lesson, Signs in the Heaven. Okay, and from there, let's get St. Luke 21. St. Luke 21, and I want verse 25.
This is the book of St. Luke, chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and the moon, and the stars. Come on.
And upon the earth, distress of nations, which perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
Okay, so we keep seeing over and over precepts about signs. Signs in the moon, sun, and the stars. Okay, we read already in Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, is here for a declaration of the seasons and times. Okay, so once again, May the 16th, all these blood moons, these lunar eclipses we seeing, the moon don't change to blood or red for no reason. This is the Lord declaring something. The Lord is trying to say something.
Many abnormalities take place in China these days. Following the sudden turn of blood red in the sky a few days ago in Zhoushan, Zhejiang province, now comes the reddening of the river in Baise, Guangxi province. According to mainland media reports, on May 10th, local residents found that the water of the Leli River turned blood red overnight. Some people worry that the blood-covered river water might be poisonous. They suspect that this may be related to the illegal charge of the local starch factory. However, the person in charge of the starch company refused the accusation because the factory had been shut down for 4 years. Local officials confirmed the red body of water in the river. However, they need further investigation to find out the reason. Earlier, authorities attributed the blood-red sky in Zhejiang to the refraction phenomenon of light from ships. However, netizens were not convinced. There are a few more abnormalities in the sky recorded in China recently. Notably, the yin and yang sky appeared over Beijing on May 9th. The blue sky and white clouds were nicely balanced in the sky. White clouds covered half of the sky, and there were no clouds in the other half. Many regions have recently witnessed the sun halo, or thunderbolt snow phenomenon. Another rare climate phenomenon is the castle-shaped clouds. They suddenly took place in the Liaoning Fushun region last December. Half were dark while the other were clear. The Chinese believe that these visions are ominous signs of misfortune and chaos.
Okay, we're going to see what it is a little bit later in this lesson. Let's get Acts, the book of Acts chapter 2. And we're going to read verse 20.
The book of Acts chapter 2 verse 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. Before that,
the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into what?
Blood.
Okay, this is what we have. They call it a flower blood moon, May 16. Come on.
Before that great and notable day of the Lord come.
Okay, so this is happening what? This is declaring something before the great and notable day of the Lord. Before Yahushua returns, this is what's going to be happening. Okay, the sun and the moon turn to blood before that great and notable day of the Lord come. So now we know what it's starting to declare. This is declaring as a sign to let us know, hey, the Lord, the King of the universe, is about to make his arrival. Before he shows up, just like in ancient times, any king, before he stepped on the scene, they had to make an announcement arrival. They would blow the trumpets. The king is coming. The king is coming. Make way. Well, this is what the universe is starting to do. The universe is speaking out. Its declarations is declaring the sign that the King of all glory, the King of the universe, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is coming. He's about to make his return. All right. Let's get what was that? Acts 2. Let's get Matthew chapter 2. Matthew chapter 2 verse 2.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 2 verse 2.
Come on.
Saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him.
Now you see that? This is talking about the birth of Yahushua. Okay, before he was born or during his birth, there was a star in the east. And this is what the people said. The wise men, they knew where to go. Why? Because the star was up there for a sign. The sign was what? Let them know, hey, the king is here. The king is born. Say, we have seen his star in the east, further showing you that these luminaries are here for signs, seasons, and times. Now, from there, we're going to Matthew, staying in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. Let's read verse 30.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
Now, it says, then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, where? In heaven. Come on.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Okay, so before they see the power of the Son of Man coming, before he comes once again, the luminaries are making a declaration. Read it one more time.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
See that? First you're going to see the sign. There shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Come on.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
Why are they mourning? Why? Because the Lord is coming to take them down. The other nations, all those are rulership, the wicked in high places. It's a transfer of power. He's coming to take the crowns of the nations. Okay? And he's going to give the earth over to his people, the Israelites. Continue.
And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Okay, but before they see him coming in the clouds, they're going to see what first? The sign. There's a sign. Okay, let's get Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 24. Isaiah, the 24th chapter, we read verse 4.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 4. The earth mourned and faded away. The world languished it away.
The earth mourned and faded away, meaning this current system, this world, this system, this rulership is fading away. This is all the signs that the luminaries are starting to declare. It's letting us know the end is here. There's a transitional power on its way. Continue.
The world languished and faded away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.
See that? The haughty people. Those are the proud, the rich, the people in high places. What the Bible refers to as the wicked. The proud, wicked people of the earth do languish. They're lacking. They're mourning now. Why? Because their time is up. This is what the luminaries are starting to declare. All right, let's get a precept. Let's get Ezekiel chapter 17, and I want verse 24.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 17, verse 24. And all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree.
Okay, now when the Bible talks about trees, okay, this is a metaphor. It's talking about people. All the people of the earth, continue.
Have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree.
Okay, the low tree is talking about Israel. Okay, his people up until this point has been in a very low condition of state. Why? Because the punishment for breaking our Lord's commandments. Continue.
And have made the dry tree to flourish.
The dry tree, once again, is Israel. He's making that dry tree to flourish now. Precept Ezekiel 37, the valley of dry bones are waking up. They're standing on their feet again. Continue.
I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it.
See that? The Lord said, I've spoken, I've done it. So this is what he's doing. Read it one more time.
And all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, had brought down the high tree.
All the people shall know that the Lord has brought down the high tree. The high tree has been Esau, Edom, what you call the white man. He's been in rulership all of this time. But now his time is up. He's going down. Come on.
Have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree.
Okay, he's exalting the low tree. That's his people, Israel. He's dried up the green tree. Once again, that green tree is talking about Edom. He's dried up now. The same way, okay, you take a flower or whatever that's blossomed, that's bloomed. You don't take care of it. Don't water it. Let it go, or a certain season. Say that summer or the winter come, better yet. Winter come, that same flower that was blossoming, what is it going to do? It withers. Now, this is what it's talking about. That high tree now is withering away, meaning its time is up. By the way, this blood moon is, remember, they calling it what? A flower blood moon. Mm-hmm. So now we're seeing in the Bible what that flower represents. We're talking about seasons. He's had his season to flourish, the big green tree, blossom, bloom. Now his season is up. He's withering away. This is what it's talking about. Come on.
And have made the dry tree to flourish.
See that? Now that dry tree is starting to flourish. That's Israel. Come on.
I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it.
Right. So the Lord has spoken, his word can't return to him void. That means it's as good as done.
Yep.
All right, let's get another precept. Daniel chapter 2. We're reading verses 20 and 21.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 20. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons.
See that? The Lord is the one who changes the times and the season. He promotes, he brings down. Continue.
He removeth kings and setteth up kings.
See that? He removeth kings and he setteth up kings. He's now currently removing this current king who's been in rulership, Esau, Edom. He's removing this king and he's on his way to setting up the new king, which Yahushua is the king, but his people, Israel. Continue.
He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him.
Okay, good. Let's go to Sirach in the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 10, and we're going to read verse 8. Get one more precept to show you the Most High controls all of it. He sets up kings and kingdoms and rulerships, and he takes them down. He's now taking down his current rulership, and he's about to establish the next rulership, the Israelites, his people. Read that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8.
Come on.
Because of the unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from the people to another.
See that? Because of unrighteous dealings and deceit, all the wickedness that this man has portrayed upon the face of this earth. all the pollutions, the GMO foods, the councils they created, and they CDC, the different diseases and health things, the poisons in the vaccine, everything. The lies in the political, taking down other nations, other countries for all the money and resources, guns, drugs, you name it. The transgenderism, homosexual, abortions, all the slavery, the rape, murder, rob, pillaging. The list is too long. Because of all the sins and injustices that they've done, the Lord is translating the kingdom from one people, meaning he's taking rulership from the current people at rulership, and he's translating the kingdom to another. Read it one more time.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
See that? He's taking the kingdom. He's stripping his current kingdom from the people that's in rulership now, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and he's giving it now to his people, the Israelites. All right, let's get Job. Job chapter 14. Job 14th chapter. We're going to read verses 1 and 2. Job chapter 14, we're going to read verses 1 and 2. And this is going to show us a little bit more of, we're talking about flowers, grass, and seasons. One flower blossoms or blooms for a particular season. When that season is up, it withers away. Okay, this is the same translation where it's talking about kingdoms and rulership. This current man that's in charge, Esau, Edom, when his time is up, just like a flower, he's withering away. This is what's taking place right now in the earth. All right, let's get that. Job chapter 14, verses 1 and 2.
Job chapter 14, verses 1. Man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. See that? He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. Now this is twofold. You can say, okay, yes, this is talking about individual person, being or whatever. Okay, George lived to be 70 years old. And he passed away, yes. But on a deeper level, it's also talking about rulership or people. Okay, man's time, just like a flower. It's here for 1 minute, it blossoms, bloom, then it's cut down. Read it again. Man that is born of a woman is of a few days in a full trouble. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not. See that? He's just like a flower that bloomed, and you cut the grass, he's cut down, and just like a shadow. It's there 1 second, move away, the shadow is gone. This is the time of his rulership. It's been here, and it was time for it to leave. Let's jump to verse 5. Verse 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds, that he cannot pass. See that? His days are determined. The Lord has appointed his bounds, and he cannot pass. The Lord sets up kings and rulership. Okay, there's a certain amount of time that the Lord say, hey, this particular empire is going to rule. When that time is up, once that pendulum swings, it's nothing, no devil in hell or no that anybody can do to stop that. Okay, that pendulum is swinging now. It's swung. His time is up. Okay, every empire, you go back to ancient Egypt under Pharaoh, the Assyrians, the Greeks, Romans, so on and so forth. They never thought the empire could fall. Okay, they never did. You go back during the height of Pharaoh. Pharaoh was impossible. There's no way they believed they would ever fall. Same with Rome. There's no way they could fall, but look. Okay, everything has a beginning and has an end. The only thing that would not have an end is Yahweh-Shah's kingdom. The kingdom of heaven, that's eternal. All right, let's close off with Psalms 103. Book of Psalms 103. And we're going to read verses 15 and 16. Even in Ecclesiastes, it tells a time and season for everything under the sun. Okay, he's had his season, his time of rulership. Now we're transitioning to the Lord's kingdom. Psalms 103, verse 15. Come on. As for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field. So he flourished. As of man, his days as of grass, as a flower of a field. Come on. So he flourished it. For the wind passeth over it, and it is gone. And the place thereof shall know it no more.
See that? Just like the flower blooms, the grass at a certain season, what happens during the winter? It withers away. What happens? You cut the grass. It's down 1 second, then it's gone. This is how it's likened in man's time or his rulership or his kingdom. This is what you see happening within the earth now. The Lord set up a people, a kingdom for a certain time. That time is up. Now he's transitioning into the new kingdom. Why it's so hard for a lot of people to accept that, they've gotten too comfortable with the current system, okay? The Bible says in Ephesians, Satan is the prince of this air, meaning the prince of this world system. They happy operating in Satan's system. They give lip service and talk about the Lord, sir, wait to the kingdom of heaven. That's a lie, because they wouldn't be fighting so hard to keep what they have here on this side, okay? So, once again, title of the lesson, Signs into Heaven. I hope you got some understanding. Till next time, shalom. We out.